Alright guys, so obviously on this channel we check out a ton of true wireless earbuds, and it leaves me at times searching out for new earbuds that have new features or a new look, and I like coming across new companies. It just kind of makes it interesting and it gives me something interesting to talk about. And so I came across the company Rolfstone because they had some really interesting earbuds. But the one product that stood out to me the most was a pair of wireless active noise canceling headphones. So I picked that pair up so that we could check them out today. That product is the Rolfstone Focus. Now I'm going to go ahead and jump into what stood out to me about these. They get 100 hours of battery life on a single charge. I have not seen that kind of battery life on any other pair of headphones. Now that is using them with the noise canceling turned off. But it also stood out to me the fact that if you use them with the noise canceling on, you still can get 70 hours of battery life. If you're somebody that travels and you're going to use your headphones with noise canceling on a flight to wherever you're going, and you still want to use your headphones while you're wherever you're at and on the flight back, you could easily use these and still have plenty of battery life when you get home. And if you do happen to pick them up and they are dead, it does still have a fast charge feature. It has it where a 10-minute charge will get you 2 hours of use. Now that's not as impressive as the battery life itself, because I've seen other products that have much better fast charging. But again, the battery life is like on a league of its own. And so that's why I picked these up, and that's why we're gonna check them out today. So let's go ahead and start with what does come in the box. You can see that it does come in a hard case. It says Rolfstone across the front. Now this is a nice flat hard case, and the reason I like flat cases is while you're traveling, if you have a flat case, it doesn't seem to take up as much space as some of the other cases I've seen that headphones have. So once you unzip it and open it, you see that the headphones themselves kind of lay flat, and the only other thing in the packaging is a USB-C cable. So you cannot use these wired, you have to use them wirelessly, which everything's pretty much kind of leaning in that direction nowadays anyway. So now let's go back to the headphones, because obviously the noise canceling needs to be really good to stand out on these, because it's going to be compared to other models in the sub $200 market, which is where these fall under. It showed on their website it was 150 pounds or whatever, but anyway, once it converted over to the US, and I paid for it, had free shipping, it cost me $188 total. So I wanted to compare this to the Razer Opus, and I still wanted to compare these to the Sennheisers and the Bose and the Sony, which I all kind of put near the top. Obviously, I put the Bose and the Sony blocking out around 90%, and the Rolfstone Focus, I would put blocking out somewhere between 80 to 85%. So it had solid noise canceling. It didn't have that vacuum suction type feel. I always notice in the comment section that a lot of people say that that gives them headaches or it just kind of takes away from the experience. I didn't have that with these, but you do notice that it just almost completely blocks out everything around you the second you turn the noise canceling on. Now you do still have the ability on the headphones to turn the noise canceling off, and you can switch it over into an ambient mode, which works really good as well. I was able to hear my surroundings, I was able to carry on conversations, and I never had to take my headphones off. Now, as far as the other technology in these headphones, it does have Bluetooth 5.0. It doesn't have aptX playback, but it does have AAC and SBC. And I'm happy to say I didn't have any kind of connection issues with these, and they worked great when it came to movies and videos. So if you're just looking for a pair that you can use on a plane to watch movies and you can use at home to listen to music and just kind of use for whatever media, these definitely check all those boxes. So now let's check out the headphones themselves. The first thing that I want to point out about these is they weigh almost nothing. That's mainly because the whole build quality is all plastic, which makes me a little uncomfortable with stretching and twisting these as much as I do other headphones. It's not giving me the feeling that they're gonna break, but when something is this light and it's all plastic, it just makes me feel they're a little more fragile than other headphones. Now, as far as the padding on here, this is very minimal on the headband, but again, when you have a pair of headphones that's this light, you really don't need a whole lot of padding on the top of your head. Now, as far as the padding on the ear cups, these are a very thick and very soft padding. I really liked how these felt. They have memory foam inside, and they are large enough that it surrounds your whole ear and it actually doesn't sit on your ears. And another feature that these have that I really like is if you take them off your head and you're not using them for about 5 minutes, it will just go ahead and auto shut these off. Now, these don't work with an app, so you can't adjust that to maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes, which I would have preferred. But again, if you do take them off and you forgot to turn them off, it will shut it down and it will save that insanely crazy battery life. Now, as far as the top of the headphones, they have like a glossy feel to them. So if you handle your headphones a lot up top, you will notice fingerprints. It's very subtle when it comes to branding. You can see the Rolfstone logo right underneath where the headphones fold in. And then you can see the Rolfstone logo right here on this little indented area. Now this is where your touch controls are located. So you just simply tap the headphones to play and pause. You swipe forward to go to the next track. You swipe backwards to go back to the previous track. And then you swipe up and down to control your volume. There is another button located on here that allows you to switch between the 3 different modes, which is your ANC on, your ANC off, and then your ambient mode. And then you also have your power button, which is actually hidden on the top of the ear cup. So if you're wearing your headphones and you can see that it pushes the ear cup to go flush with the headphones, you can't see the power button. And you also can't see the LED light, which lets you know how much battery life you have. And the benefit to this is when you're wearing your headphones, you don't have a light that's constantly flashing. So if you're like me and you use your headphones while laying in bed, you're not gonna have that light flashing and bothering the person next to you. So now as far as the microphones and using these for phone calls, they did a very good job of picking up my voice. Now these do have 4 mics overall, which they're using for noise canceling, but I felt like the mics did a good job of picking up my voice, but you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here.
All right, guys, so here is a mic test using the Rolfstone Focus. I think overall it picks up my voice really nicely. I do notice it kind of has a little bit of a tinny sound, but this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. And so now here is a mic test with the crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. And so this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call in public.
So now let's talk about the sound, because on their site it says it has a crystal clear sound with very full, rich bass. So I wanted to see how it actually compared to what they say they have. This is one of the clearest and cleanest sounding headphones that I've heard. It's very bright and detailed, but when it comes to bass, you can tell that it's leaning more towards being accurate because it doesn't have that thick subwoofer type feel. The bass is punchy, but it is really tight. So it's a very fast headphone. It's very quick, it's detailed, it can be bright at times. If you're gonna use these with movies, you'll have no issues with hearing dialogue. It did a very good job with vocals. So I would switch between using these listening to a male vocalist, then a female vocalist, and then somebody that has a deep voice, somebody that has a high-pitched voice, and it just handled all of that so well. So I was very impressed with these, and then what really made it stand out is just not a sound signature that you hear in a lot of wireless headphones, especially pairs that have active noise canceling, because most noise canceling headphones tend to boost the low end, and these just do the opposite. It just stays clean throughout the whole time. Now another benefit to that is the sound stage and the sound imaging. Because it's so detailed, you have no issues with telling where things are coming from, and believe it or not, these really do sound very open. Again, that's another thing that you usually don't benefit from in a noise canceling pair of headphones. Now, as great as I think all of that is, I still do have some cons with these. One is the all plastic build. I do like that they're light, but I don't like being worried that they're going to break. I do also feel that the volume could benefit to be 2 to 3 notches louder. I do like to listen to my music loud, but I still felt like at even the highest volume, I could have just bumped it up just a little bit more. And then really the only other concern, this always comes back to the companies that I'm checking out. When it comes to new companies or companies most people haven't heard of, I think this is an expensive product for an unknown company, or at least I had never heard of them before. But when you're trying out a new company, there's always going to be that little bit of, how are these gonna hold up? How are they gonna stick behind their product? And should I spend almost $200 or 150 pounds or whatever it is on this pair of headphones, and will they last? That also depends on how you take care of your products. I'm very careful, so I'm not that concerned with these. So my overall opinion on these is, one, you're not going to get this kind of battery life on any of the other top consumer headphones. They just don't even come close. If you are looking for a pair of noise canceling headphones that have extreme detail and clarity in the music, this is easily the one that I would recommend. I'm impressed by what this company has so far. I'm curious to see what their earbuds sound like. But guys, that's my video on the Rolfstone Focus. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.